raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. They said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait till you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom. Major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still, I move straight on these rooks now.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I am Gabriel.
Gabe, it feels like a Monday morning, but it's a Friday night. Are you ready for a little Monday morning late night Talkin VAWLS? What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives?
I don't know. I don't know. It is definitely a little dark for a Monday morning. It feels a little late, but you know, we're here. We're gonna do the dang thing.
I love it, man. Look, the full-time gig, Talkin VAWLS is the job. So I told these guys we're going to do more live streams, more content, whether it's covering recruiting, the transfer portals, the hot topic right now. So we're going to talk about it. We got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. And, you know, I make videos all throughout the week, and sometimes it's fun just to get together, impromptu live stream, and kind of talk about some of the stuff that I've made videos about, get other people's opinions. That's what we're going to do tonight. But the main feature is the transfer portal. So if that's what you're here for, stick around. We're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. Several guys in and around campus this weekend. So we'll talk about that. Let's run down the chat, see who's hanging out. Angry Titan, right out of the gate. First person to leave a comment says, here's a $5 super chat. You know, Angry Titan said, I don't know if I'm going to make it, Boogie. My wife may make me watch Netflix. And I said, well, that's grounds for divorce where I come from. And he said, here's $5 just in case I have to watch Netflix, paying my door fee. That's another thing that I like around here. You guys created a door fee. Come on in. There's 121 people watching. You have to leave $5 to come in. That's their rule, not mine, but we appreciate it. Thank you, Angry Titan. Justin Sanday is in the house. What's up, Justin? Isaac Owens is here. Brad is in the house. Robert Tuck. What's up, Robert? Says, good evening, fam. James is here. Matt Dumit is here. Steven86 is in the house. Lucas's Rad Dad Videos is here. Pooty. What's up, Pooty? Look at that emoji. I love it. I love it. It's great to be evolved, dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. John Hill for $20. We can officially start the stream because John has dropped a very generous super chat. We appreciate that $20. Says TCU beat Georgia. Hate Georgia. Gabe's representing both tonight. I'm not mad at that. Go Frogs, right? We're all Frog fans.
It's acceptable. Listen, last time I understand it wasn't time yet. It wasn't time. It was unacceptable. And I wasn't wearing any Tennessee gear at all, right? I'm repping Tennessee because that's what we love. That's who we love. But this weekend, especially for me who lives in Fort Worth, it's TCU weekend. It's time to be a horned frog for a weekend and wish on the dog's downfall. I was shocked when TCU beat Michigan. I thought they were going to get beat down, just like I thought Georgia was going to beat Ohio State down. Neither of those things happened, and now I'm feeling a little different about the national championship. So we'll see what happens. But you got to support them just a little bit. It's just to put a little bit more energy out there in hopes that the dogs will take an L this Monday. By the way, who plays a national championship on a Monday?
The NCAA does. Yeah, the NCAA does. Are you really changing your tune with the national championship? Because I was with you. I was like, there's no chance that TCU beats Michigan. They got no shot. They shouldn't even be in the top 4. They beat Michigan. I think Georgia got tested against Ohio State, and that was it. That Georgia's your national champion, defending national champions. I don't think TCU has a shot, but maybe that's exactly where TCU needs to be.
I think, yeah, that's where they thrive, right? I mean, they've been hearing all season long that they don't deserve to be where they are, that they other teams deserve to be there over them. They were going to get beat down, just like we're saying right now. So realistically, I think Georgia wins. But I mean, it's college football. Crazy things have happened this year. I mean, crazy things. If the last few weeks of the season were any indicator, this college football season has been crazy, and anything can happen. So we'll see on Monday. But I think Georgia has the upper hand still. But again, I think, like you said, that's exactly where TCU wants to be.
I think that's the perfect opportunity to plug. We are going to be doing a watch party Monday night for the national championship game. Look, we added some extra tiers down there. One, you can be Boogie's boss. What do you get from that? Absolutely nothing. It's for those of you, and some people probably think I just make this up. People said, hey, I want to give more, Boogie. I want to give a little bit more than the $9.99 for elite status. So I made a tier for Boogie's boss. You can go join that tier. But we also added watch party enthusiasts. So what that is, we're going to do more watch parties, whether it's the NCAA national championship on Monday night, baseball games, basketball games, old games. We're going to do more, and that gives you an opportunity. I think there's six people that are at the watch party enthusiast tier right now, so they're guaranteed to get on here. My wife asked me today, she's like, so exactly what are you going to do when you have people paying that much money for watch party enthusiasts and you get more than you can have on stream? And I was like, we're going to be live for 4 or 5 hours. We can easily rotate an hour and a half, 2 hours. Easily. We'll get everybody on. We'll accommodate everybody. It's not going to be like normal. There's not going to be like 7 people on here. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time. So tune in for that. Let me jam through some super chats. Robert dropping his door fee. Thank you for the $2. Says, I'm here. Jason Lawrence for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Jason, door fee paid. I like this new rule that you guys made. I like it. Trey Tyndall for $5. Happy New Year. Good to see my Texas brother Gabe on the show with you tonight, Boogie. Thank you, Trey. You know, I was like, I think I'm going to go live tonight. And I asked Gabe, and I was like, let's just go. Man, our Monday morning streams were a lot of fun. I feel like we jammed together better when it's just me and you versus when there's 4, 5, 6 people. I was like, let's just ride with Gabe tonight. But thank you, Trey. Glad you and old Gabe, Texas brothers. Joe Bird for 99 cents. Thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate that. David Speaks for $10 says, dropping my entry fee, Boogie. Seth Luttrell for tight ends coach. Thoughts? I've got a list here from A to Z Sports. They put out an article of some possible targets. Seth Luttrell was on their list, former North Texas head coach. This is from their article directly. It says, seems like the perfect fit. Heupel's teammate at Oklahoma in the 90s, early 2000s. A lot of experience coaching tight ends, has roots in the air raid system, just like Heupel. Vols linebacker coach, special teams coordinator Mike Eckler was his special teams coordinator at North Texas in 2020. So there are some connections. There are some links. We may come back to that article. We'll see how the night goes. I really don't know. And we can kind of dive into that. Let me hit this $5 super chat from Eric Wilson. I guess that's a door fee. Appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. Let me hit a couple more. There's a couple more $5, and I want to come back to
rolling
that question. Hey, that's great. We'll read them all night long. Sling Blade for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Good evening, fellas. GBO and go TCU for a fee for a few days. I think he means few days anyway. I hope they can neuter the dogs. I'm with you guys. Horn Frogs for life. Blitz 621 for $5. Can Squirrel catch Bazooka Joe pass without falling down? It will be awesome next fall. GBO. Yeah, I'm excited, man. The future's bright. It is so bright. And we're going to continue to talk about that with the portal. A Stiddy for $4. I don't think I've ever seen a $4 super chat, but thank you for the super chat. Paying my way. Go Frogs. All right. All the door fees are paid and caught up, and we've read. But I wanted to go back to the $10 from David Speaks, talking about the tight ends coach, because some news that came out this week, put out in a video. Quarterbacks coach Joey, I'm going to say this the correct way so people don't yell at me, Joey Halsley, promoted to the offensive coordinator position. You know, obviously that familiarity, been with Josh Heupel for like 15 years. Now Tennessee's looking for a tight ends coach. But Gabe, what are your thoughts? Joey Halsley getting promoted didn't surprise anybody. Nobody should be surprised by that.
No, I mean, I think that's probably one of the easier coaching predictions you could have made. When you know, as soon as Alex Golesh left, it was pretty obvious that unless they were going to go externally and make some sort of home run hire, that Joey Halsley was the guy. I mean, you know, like you said, the experience he has with Coach Heupel, coaching with him for so long. I mean, he's already, you know, it's easy to tell that he makes a difference and he is good at his job based on, you know, the performance and the improvement of his quarterbacks over the past couple seasons. So, I mean, I think it was a no-brainer. I think that I might be wrong, but Josh Heupel will be calling plays in 2023 is what they agreed on. And while Joey because, you know, Joey is still not new to the business, but he's not been an offensive coordinator at a D1 school. So, you know, I think I might be wrong, but I heard that Heupel will be calling plays in 2023, and I'm sure they'll be writing the plays together and whatnot before he takes the reins fully in that regard. But I still think it's a great hire, and I think Joey Halsley is going to be an excellent pickup for that position.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes what Heupel said going into the Orange Bowl, right? That they were asking him, are you going to miss Golish? And he's like, you know, talking about Joey being his eyes in the sky. They've got that confidence. I've not seen anything confirmed one way or the other. I'm not saying you're wrong. I had not seen it. Oh, look, there's the guy that yelled at me. There's the guy that said, thank you for the correct pronunciation. I told him, all right, Wesley, now that you're here, Wesley, Joey Halsley was promoted. I'm going to say it wrong because I told you I thought we had a deal. I commented back and I said if he would become a member of the channel, then I would pronounce it correctly moving forward. I don't see a power T beside his name, so I'm going to continue to say Joey Halsley for the rest of the stream until Wesley corrects it. So anyway, the familiarity there and, you know, him having that confidence and Josh Heupel called plays. There were some things that were a little off compared to when Alex Golesh was calling plays prior to the Orange Bowl. But I've not seen that one way or the other, whether or not, but it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me if Josh Heupel calls plays for a year. Let's Joey Halsley, we'll say it wrong. Let him get his feet wet and get confidence and see where they go from there. But now Tennessee's got to shift their focus. We're not going to go down the road. I can share the article. Let's just share it. Why not? We've
Sure.
got, how many people are in here? We got 150 people watching live right now. Guys, smash the thumbs up. Share out the link. Let people know we're live. We'll give you your money's worth tonight. You guys were very generous with the door fees. Everybody dropping $5. I appreciate that. So we'll give you your money's worth tonight. Let me find this article. A to Z Sports. Shout out to A to Z Sports, to Zach, to Charlie for jumping on the charity stream. on Wednesday night. We were able to raise $3,000 the last I looked. I've not checked today. The donate button's still open on that stream, so if you go back, check it out, watch it. You can still donate to the charity. But shout out to Charlie and Zach for coming on. Always a good time to hang out with those guys. Zach actually wrote this article, 5 options that make the most sense to be the Tennessee Vols' next tight ends coach. Gabe, do you have anybody that sticks out? I know Seth Luttrell's the guy that we were talking about earlier, former North Texas head coach. Here's let me run down their 5 that they've got. Seth Luttrell, JoJo Finley, Oklahoma tight ends coach. John David Baker, Ole Miss co-offensive coordinator, tight ends coach. Rashad Samples, LA Rams running back coach. Luke Wells, Tulsa tight ends coach. They got a wild card in here. Joe Osavet, who was the former Tennessee tight ends coach previously. Was he there under Pruitt? Yep.
Yes, under Pruitt.
Says, I'm not sure if Oswald was wrapped up in any of the NCAA investigation at Tennessee under Pruitt. He interviewed with Heupel at UCF just before Heupel took over at Tennessee. I cannot imagine them bringing back somebody that was there during all of that. Whether they're squeaky clean, I can't see it. But anybody on that list or off the list that really stands out to you?
Well, I mean, I think Seth Luttrell is the guy that if you're looking at everybody here, you're going, yeah, I think he'd be the guy. But if not, I really have no idea. I mean, home run hire, I would have loved to see Jason Witten. But he's on to, is he coaching Lipscomb? Did he get not Lipscomb.
I think that fell through. I think he was going to, and then he ended up somewhere else.
Listen,
somebody asked me about Witten, and I just don't see him at Tennessee. I really don't.
Here's the thing. It's one of those things we talk about, but in all seriousness, if he doesn't have experience, you'd like to see him get a you'd like to see him ease into coaching and maybe sometime in the future. But I mean, I think Seth Luttrell is sort of the guy that you'd like to see. I don't think there's anyone else that really sticks out as like somebody. I mean, it's personally, I wouldn't mind if Mike Eckler wasn't the linebacker / special teams coach. I wouldn't mind if Mike Eckler was the special teams or special teams coordinator / tight ends coach. If we had a different guy at linebacker, and it wouldn't shock me to see them make that change. But yeah, I think if you're looking at this list, Seth Luttrell would be the guy. I can't really think of anybody else.
I really have no strong opinion. I really don't. I really don't have any. I probably couldn't even given you a name that was on the radar because it's kind of so far off the radar because everything was focused on the Orange Bowl. And then after that, it was, okay, what's Tennessee going to do about an offensive coordinator? And I'm happy with the promotion of Joey Halsley. How about that? I'll say Halsley, even though he didn't become a member of the channel. I'll still say Halsley just for him, just for Wesley. But I was more concerned with that hire, the promotion of Joey Halsley. And what I talked about, it's going to take me forever. Now I don't know which way's right and which way's wrong because I made too many jokes. But I talked about it in the video. I think it's huge for Tennessee because you're seeing the progression, the coaching tree. That's what you want, right? Alex Golesh works under Josh Heupel, goes on, becomes a head coach at USF. Ultimately, what we would like to see is success at USF and see Alex Golesh kind of move up the food chain and then see Joey Halsley have success as a coordinator and him ultimately get a head coaching job. And, and they're young. They're both so young.
Right.
And to see that coaching tree start to branch out, and then now you got to start to groom somebody else after Joey Halsley ends up somewhere else.
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, that's the ultimate thing is I trust this staff and administration to make the right choice because, I mean, when Kelsey Pope was promoted to wide receivers coach, you were going, okay, all the players seem to think this is a great option.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the performance this year and all the players going, oh man, Coach Pope, man, he's legit. He's the real deal. Coach Pope. I mean, this guy, I mean, these people know what they're doing. They know what they want in their football coaches. They know how to find guys that know how to be coaches and have a bright future. I said it about Joey Halsley a while back that I think he's well on his way to being a head coach at some point in the next 10 years. I mean, once he becomes offensive coordinator, he has a good 2 or 3 years. He's going to be on the map for a lot of USF or level type schools like that. So I don't know. We're here talking about football, Boogie, and everyone in the chat is here talking about chicken.
I know I'm
And
hungry.
whether General So's or sweet and sour is tasting better.
Well, they were also debating the pronunciation. Is it General So's or General Sal's?
It's General So's for sure.
Is it?
Where I mean, I don't know how you would say it in China, in ancient China, but to me here in America, when I walk up to when I'm in the freezer section and I see a box of chicken that says General So's on it, I'm gonna say General So's.
All right, I won't argue because I don't know how to pronounce Joey Housley. I have no idea. Dude, they even give me a hard time about Nico Iamaleava because he says Iamaleava. Dude, nobody in the media had a clue how to pronounce that outside of Austin Price, and people want to yell at me for saying Iamaleava. It's Iamaleava.
Iamaleava, right?
Iamaleava. But once you convince yourself that it's this way and you say it that way for so long, it's so hard to change and go a different direction. So I'll get it right one of these days. Stick around, hang out. I'll get it right. Don't worry. Hey guys, we got 180 people in here hanging out, listening to me and Gabe impromptu live stream. Love you guys coming, spending your Friday night with us. You could be out eating General Sal's chicken, but you're here with me and Gabe talking Tennessee football. The main event tonight's the transfer portal because it's January, and I love the portal because it gives us something to talk about all off season long. It gives and it gives and it gives. And, these kids that are in the portal, it was kind of quiet for Tennessee leading up to the bowl game. There were some names out there floating around. Some of those we're going to talk about tonight. But I think this weekend, Sunday is when the visit window closes. They can no longer visit. And then it'll open back up a little bit later. But you got some big-time names on campus, guys that are visiting in the well, let's start with the main event. Actually, let's start with the guys that are out. We were talking about this right before we went live. Nobody cares. Well, who's the wide receiver that you said? Who's the wide receiver that you said?
I already forgot his name, man. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Google it because I want to know does anybody in the chat know a wide receiver outside of Jimmy Holiday, Jimmy Callaway, and Walker Merrill that entered the portal? There's no way. What's the name?
His name is Lucien Brunetti.
Lucien Brunetti.
Brunetti. Like a brunette, but Brunetti, like the Italian version.
Yeah, gone. He is into the portal. Romello Edwards, defensive back. Romello Edwards, I think, has 5 tackles in his career, and I think he was the class of 2000. He was a freshman in 2018. So he's off to the portal. A couple of guys just making roster space is all that is. But R.J. Perry, somebody mentioned, that's an offensive lineman, I do believe, that's into the portal. That's the thing is pretty much everybody that's gone to the portal is just making space. And that's what you want. And it's a business. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the Brian Maurer tweet flowing around today?
I sure did, yes.
He somebody said, and it was a guy that I follow on Twitter actually said, that if you went into the portal, don't be screaming this Vol for life type of stuff. Vol for life this, Vol for life that. And Brian Maurer quote tweeted it and said, what about us that got forced out? Because Brian Maurer has been very vocal about his support of Tennessee football all the time. When Tennessee wins a big game, he's celebrating it on Twitter. You see it out there. What are your thoughts on that? Because that's some of these guys that are going out, they are being forced out. And it's a business, and you're trying to make room. And you're always trying to recruit over kids. And it's the ugly side of it. It's like kids getting processed out, kids that have been committed, and you get down to signing day. Oh, we need a little bit more room. They quickly decommit and end up somewhere else. It's part of the business.
That happens to more guys than I think a lot of people know. It happened to a lot more guys than people know when Heupel came into the building. It happened to a lot of guys that people don't want to admit it happened to, but it did. That didn't make the choice to leave. They were told to leave, or asked to leave. And that's why the transfer portal being there is, I mean, it is a good thing for a lot of these kids. Cause I mean, do a lot of these kids have chances to, go and do something crazy with a football career? Maybe not. A lot, like your Lucien Brunettis and those guys, but it gives them the chance at least to go and without penalty transfer to a different school that might need them and play football. Because if you're a kid that wants to go to a school to play football, you want to play football. And we can talk about being patient, and there is that pays dividends. We know it does. If you see a future ahead, that it pays dividends. But these kids want to play football, and if you're sitting there getting told, you're not going to play, you're gonna head out. And on the other side of that is being told, hey, you're not gonna play, so you need to get out.
Right.
We want what's best for you, and we also want what's best for this team. And yeah, that's a side that not a lot of people really think about very often of college football, but especially once you get up to the D1 level, SEC especially, it really is a business. And if you aren't cutting it, if you are just dead weight on the roster, you're going to be asked or told to leave. As with as much humanity as probably is possible in that scenario. But yeah, I mean, that's I appreciate Brian Maurer being vocal about it, because I can't even imagine. I mean, I can't even imagine how much crap some of these kids have gotten on social media from people saying, "Oh, how dare you? You ain't a Tennessee Vol. You suck. You suck." When they were asked to leave by the coaching staff that those fans praise, and it's like, it doesn't mean that the coaching staff are bad people. That doesn't mean that we should hate the coaching staff. Again, it happens at every school. It's just a side of college football that's not really talked about very often. Whether there are some, not necessarily NDAs, but there's some like keep it on the down low kind of stuff going on at different schools and things like that. So, I mean, ultimately it just is what it is. It's part of it. But you have to appreciate some of the former players or players being vocal about it and being honest, because that's how it is.
We've got another name that we need to mention. Talking. We're going to get into the guys that are on campus and visiting, and Tennessee's looking to add another guy that had a lot of buzz, a lot of talk around Tennessee and this kid, and that's Marshawn Lloyd. Made it official today. He's transferring from USC East to USC West. He'll be going out to Southern Cal. So that's a name that's off the board. But again, he was a kid that they were talking about supposed to be visiting this week. And then the more it kind of came out, he wasn't going to be on campus. You could kind of see things starting to trend in a different direction. Do you think Tennessee needs to add a running back? You look what they've got coming back. You got Jabari Small. You had something else we need to talk about is Jalen Wright, right? A kid that tweets out basically it's about business, and then magically the next day signs a big NIL deal with Spire Sports. But that's you were talking about Brian Maurer and cutting kids and processing kids out and it being a business. That's a two-way street, because it's a business for these kids now too. And if you've got a little birdie over here in your ear offering you X amount of money, some of these kids are going to go where the dollars are at. And it is what it is. You have to accept it. Spoiler alert for a video that I'm going to drop tomorrow. He was talking, one of the kids in the portal was talking about his strength coach or his whatever you want to call him, strength and conditioning guy that he works with away from the team. He was talking to teams before this kid entered the portal, because that's how it works. You can go through back channels and communication, right. But at the end of the day, it's a business. So maybe I asked you 14 questions there in one, kind of talking about Jalen Wright. And of course you got Dylan Sampson coming back too, but do you think this team needs to add a running back? Speculate on some Jalen Wright money deals too.
No, I don't think that this team could have afforded to lose a running back, like a starting running back, and then not add one in the portal. This team is perfectly fine though where they are, because we have Jabari, we have Jalen, we have Dylan Sampson, and we have the two new young bucks who I know they're not ultra impressive, but if they get in, they get some reps, they improve, they can make an impact if they need to. I don't think they'll need to though. We have three really strong guys. I know Jabari's battled some health issues. If one of them left, if Jabari said I'm gone, if Jalen said I'm gone, it would have been imperative to add another running back with experience into our running back room. But they're not. They're both here. And I think it was I'm so glad that we kept Jalen here because of his experience and what he is going to bring to the table. We didn't get to see frankly, I think he should be running back one. He should be
the team in rushing.
He should be he should be RB1, absolutely. I just think he should be. We only got to see a sliver of like really what he is truly capable of last season, which is being an absolute beast. And so, but as far as Jalen goes, this is why Spire is so important. This is why the volunteer club is so important. This is why our contributions to Tennessee's NIL is so important. I said it recently that it's not about paying recruits. It's about being able to support athletes that are already at the school as well. I think Jalen, I personally think Jalen could improve from a year in the system anyway, but our contributions to the university help Jalen Wright stay at this school, which is going to be imperative for the team and the team's production next year. And in my opinion, Jalen Wright's future career as well. I think people are going to say, oh man, he's not going to, his heart isn't in it. He's only coming. It doesn't matter. Okay. It really doesn't matter whether his heart is in his return or not, because he's going to play ball. He's an athlete. He's a competitor. He's going to play ball the same way he normally would, whether he just came back because he wanted to, or he came back because Spire was able to sign him to something. But this is why NIL is, we're seeing it. We're seeing it change the game. And I told y'all months ago that Tennessee got ahead of the game in NIL and that it was going to pay dividends. We're seeing it happen. And even as small as a way as just keeping Jalen Wright for an extra year, we're seeing it happen right in front of our eyes. And I'm very excited to see how that affects the future as well. But I personally am very glad that Jalen's back. And I think that the importance of the way Tennessee has handled NIL and the way the fans have responded and supported the athletes and Spire Sports Group and the volunteer club is imperative and very impressive. And I'm very glad to see it.
And I saw somebody in the chat earlier ask why we think people get so upset when kids decide to transfer out or kids decide to do this or that. Well, it's because we're all biased, right? We're all Tennessee fans. We're not. We may say that we love Hendon Hooker and we may say we love Jalen Hyatt. What if they transferred out and went somewhere else? What if they were at another school? Would we love them still if they transferred? Would we talk about what great kids they were? Or do we just like Tennessee because we're Tennessee fans? And it's a business. And, I can get mad and I'm a fan too. That's what this channel is built on. Fans. We're fans. That's it. So yeah, sometimes I get emotional and I yell and scream about opt-outs or whatever. I have strong opinions just like everybody else does. But at the end of the day, you don't know what Jalen Wright is going through. I have no idea what his home life is like. I have no idea what his bills are like. I have no idea if he has kids. I no clue. And one of the questions that I get asked, when I tease an announcement because somebody's coming back to the show or somebody's leaving the show or Boogie's going full time, anytime I tease an announcement, one of the biggest things that comes out is, oh no, Boogie signed a contract with VolQuest or with these people or those people. And every time that comes up, people say, don't sell out, don't do this. And I always say, I'm not, man. I want to work for me. I don't want to quit my 9 to 5 to come work for Brent Hubbs. Like, you know what I mean? I love VolQuest. That's not what I want to do with my life. I want to work for myself. But if Brent Hubbs came to me and was like, hey, we're going to pay you $500,000, do you think I would still be going, I just want to work for myself in my basement talking about Tennessee football? Money talks. And depending on people's situations, what's going on in their life, you never really know. But Gabe, you drove it home with a perfect opportunity for a plug, because this is what Spire Sports is about. This is what NIL is all about. And there are strength in numbers. When I try to sell memberships to this channel, 20,000 people, everybody joins at $1. All of a sudden, Boogie's making $20,000 a month. And I can tell Brent Hubbs no at that point for his $500,000 contract. Right now, I can't. I'd probably have to say yes. But there are strength in numbers. If 20,000 people can give $1 a month, Boogie's living the dream. If how many people are in the Tennessee fan base? I have no idea. If everybody can give something, then we can keep kids like Jalen Wright home. Maybe we can win some of those big-time recruiting battles. We got a link in the description. Dakota's putting it over there in the chat as well. We're a affiliate of Spire Sports Group. They kick a little money back our way, but you go join the volunteer club. I've talked about this on the channel before, but I'll plug it again real quick. 90% of the funds go directly to the athletes. Everything else is for events and setup and all that type of stuff. But you pay as little as $5 a month. You can pay a whole lot more. The more you pay, the more you get. Stuff like exclusive content, autograph raffles, autograph items, merchandise, video messages from players, watch parties with players, private tailgates. A lot of you guys in the chat have joined through us, which is awesome. And I've seen some of the stuff, man. I've seen the Hendon Hooker autographs. I've seen the Cedric Tillman, the Jalen Hyatt. I've seen all the autographs that you guys are getting. They send out some good stuff, but you're getting a little something, but you're also helping in the world of recruiting, the transfer portal, the kids that are on this football team. We can build a powerhouse. We got a football coach. We got a guy that knows how to coach. We got a great coaching staff, but this is going to be a money business. It already is, but it's more of a money business now. So let's jump back into it, talk a little bit more about the transfer portal. Got 200 people watching live. Guys, do us a favor, smash the thumbs up, share this thing out, let somebody know we're live. We would greatly appreciate it on this impromptu stream. We've talked about some of the kids that have transferred out, the Walker Merrills, the RJ Perrys, the Lucian Brunettis, the Romello Edwards, the William Parkers, a lot of kids that have transferred out. Let's talk about some of these guys that are transferring in or looking to transfer in. And the biggest one, again, for me, we talked about it right before we went live, Dante Thornton, wide receiver from Oregon. He is visiting this weekend. Everything points towards Tennessee. Everything indicates this kid's going to be a Vol. He was a 4-star prospect coming out in 2021, second-ranked player in the state of Maryland, 7th-ranked wide receiver in the country. But when you start to get excited about Dante Thornton is when you go watch his tape. This season, 17 catches, 366 yards, and a touchdown. But the kid is 6'5", 199 pounds. And, Gabe, I've been saying it wrong all along because when I saw 6'5", I was like, this kid's going to fit perfect on the outside. But he's a slot guy.
He's a slot receiver.
He seems to be a vault. Let me say this real quick because it's going to come up. There's a Cal wide receiver that just hit the portal. The video's made. If you guys want the video, you're going to have to pay for the video. Otherwise, it's going to be posted at 8 a.m., so stay tuned for that. Let's stay on target. Dante Thornton. How excited. Gabe, you're giddy. You're grinning like a little schoolgirl just thinking about Dante Thornton.
Dante Thornton is the type of guy you get really excited about as a football fan. You want Dante Thornton on your football team. He is a mismatch. He is mismatch hell for any team, especially in Josh Heupel's offense. Josh Heupel could scheme anybody open, man. He could scheme anybody open. Could you imagine a mix of Squirrel White, who's 5'10" and 165 pounds, and then Dante Thornton, who's 7 inches taller and runs like he is so you think 6'5", you think, oh, he's got to be like lanky and lumbering. That dude is quick. Dante Thornton is quick, and he is
ran
6'5",
4.63 40 out of high school. So
and let me tell you what, after watching some of his highlights, he plays faster than that. He plays faster than 4.6. Absolutely. That's got to be more like a 4.5 or 4.4 now, because he burns guys, and he is so, I mean, he is the type of guy that you will throw the ball to and he will catch it, just period. In this offense, I cannot even imagine a 4-man rotation of Brew McCoy, Ramel Keaton, Squirrel White, and Dante Thornton. That is insane to me. That right there is the best wide receiver room in the country. Period. No question about it. It just is. If you get Dante Thornton on your team, you've taken a wide receiver room that's already incredible and made it point blank the best in the country. I'm so excited about the prospect of him being a Tennessee Volunteer, because he's just one of those unique players that just stands out and just has the ability and can make a difference in the game. And I'm so excited to hopefully, I really hope that we get him in the boat, because he is going to be a blast to watch come fall.
When Austin Price starts using words like trending to Tennessee, I think Dante Thornton's going to be involved before we get out of the weekend. I think it's just a matter of coming in, going through the visit, and then he's going to commit. He's going to record the video with Austin Price while he's in Knoxville this weekend. I'm pushing all my chips in. Jason Lawrence with a big-time, generous, crazy, insane super chat. That's $50. $50 where I come from ain't cheap, and we got to play the clip. Thank you, Jason. Let's play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Wouldn't be Talkin VAWLS live if the clip didn't glitch out on my end. Hope you guys saw it. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looked good from here.
Did it? I know.
Yep.
See, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Wouldn't be talking balls if it wasn't a nightmare. Jason for $50. Appreciate that, Jason. Very generous. Nothing important to say. Just wanted to see my name scroll across the bottom for a while. Roll the clip, Boogie. I appreciate that. Let's update the leaderboard. Apparently, Jason doesn't want John Hill to be on the leaderboard, so I can get it updated here real quick. Jason Lawrence, $49.99. That is very generous, man. You guys, I'll tell you what, these guys were nuts on Sunday night playing NCAA. I said I would play as long as they kept paying for a new game, and they paid all night long. I was up all night long playing NCAA. You guys are very generous the way you support this channel. We appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I think Dante Thornton, I think he's a Vol. And I saw somebody in the chat said if we get Dante Thornton to commit that we're done at wide receiver. Are we though? I'm telling you guys, the video is going to drop in the morning. And when you watch that video, it'll drop around 8 o'clock in the morning of another kid that just entered the portal. Tennessee's got some interest. I'll get you guys up to speed. Have you, Gabe, we talked about it briefly off air, and I said, hey, we're not going to talk about this on air. And now we're talking about it on air. But have you watched any of that kid's film from Cal?
I haven't watched it.
If you can get him, you go get him. That's how good he is. He is another, and that's, hey, we talked about it being a business. That's part of it. Keep recruiting over kids. If you go to the portal and you lose kids, so be it, man. You get guys that fit your scheme. This kid has got some size. I think he was like 6'3", got the speed. He's a burner. It was a 10 something. It was a sub 1100 meters. Kid's a burner. Yeah, there you go. If Wayne says it, it's gospel. Sturdivant is a good player. Again, that video is dropping at 8 a.m. So make sure you guys tune in.
His name is Sturdivant. How about?
His name
that
is J. Michael. J. period Michael as one name. It's not an
J.
initial.
Michael Sturdivant.
Yeah, what it sounds like.
Come on, guys. Come on now.
Come on, boys. That's a baller right there. Just by the name. Just by the name, you sign that kid up.
Yeah.
Sign that kid up. Another one that's coming in to visit. Actually, he was in town today. I saw he tweeted out the little graphic, and it made me think. Omar Norman Lott, defensive lineman, Arizona State. When I saw him post the little graphic, and it's like shows the needle and it goes down into Neyland Stadium, and then it shows him conveniently wearing the all black uniforms. People that talk about the all black and oh, we're orange this, we're orange that. These kids love the black uniform. Every single one of them puts it on when they come in for a visit. Every one of them. That's what they wear. They love it. They dig it. So sometimes it's not about us. It's more about the kids. Omar Norman Lott, I think he's a Vol too. I think he is a Vol Lott.
He's a D lineman, right?
Correct. Defensive lineman, Arizona State.
Now he's sort of a tackle type of guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pulling up his profile now because I want to make sure I get the height and weight correctly. He was a 4-star prospect coming out of high school, class of 2020. But now he is up to 6'3", 290 pounds, redshirt junior.
Okay, which by the way, we need the help on the inside. We do. I mean, we have guys, but we need depth. I mean, if there's one thing that Coach G loves, it is having guys on guys that can literally they can rotate, they can back each other up. Guys that come in and you can't tell a difference, right, between the production. So we need some help in that category. We're not desperate for it, but if we can get a couple guys like this guy, it will make a legitimate difference. So
I think it's Wayne in the chat that said that Omar Norman Lott is a body. That's what he is.
A body.
You need more bodies, and he's a body. Let me see if is Wayne in the chat? I was waiting on him to leave a comment on it. But that's, you look at his stats, and again, he's a defensive tackle, 6'3", 290. 2021, 30 tackles, 2 sacks. 2022, 14 tackles, 2 sacks. Not a lot. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. I knew it had said as soon as I said it. Cassidy called me out on it.
Oh, I know. When you said it too,
I thought, dang it.
As soon as it came out of your mouth, I was like, I wouldn't have said that.
I know. I wouldn't. I was trying to, just say something smoothly. I was trying to just ad lib, say as I was thinking, and it didn't go well, man. It didn't go well. We can move on. We can move on. We don't have to.
I was actually filming a video with Coach Jay today, doing another film breakdown video, and we were talking about Rodney Garner and how, he wants to rotate guys, and that's part of it, man. Even at linebacker, what Tim Banks and Brian Jean-Marie want to do at linebacker is rotate guys. It's not just the defensive line. I mean, how many times did we see, you'd see Beasley and Banks out there, and then the next series you've got Jawan Mitchell and Page out there running. And part of that too is when you get to that fourth quarter, man, you've got guys that are fresh. And when you've got guys that are fresh and you can continue to get after the quarterback, that's huge. But yeah, we know Rodney Garner wants to add, rotate about 10 guys there on the defensive line. Guys, we still got 220 people watching live. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Impromptu stream tonight. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Somebody in the chat, not on the way out the door, I'm doing a video plug now, said we need Coach J shirts. We do have a Coach J emoji now. So all you members of the channel, you can drop those Coach J custom emojis, but also you can go check out the merch. You guys know where, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We appreciate the support. I'm still encouraging you guys, if you've got Talkin VAWLS merch, I want to see pictures of it. I want to see pictures of you repping Talkin VAWLS merch. So go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS, pick some up, and then tweet it out and tag me up at Boogie Bentley on Twitter. I want to see you guys repping that merch. The link to that is also in the description as well. I'm sure one of my wonderful moderators is probably dropping the link in the chat as we speak. X Factor dropping a $5 super chat. Said, Gabe, I knew you was a low-key TCU fan all along. Just kidding. Love you, Gabe. And yes, Dante Jalen Hyatt 2.0 Biletnikoff Award for him in 2023. GBO. Thank you, X Factor. Appreciate the super. It's always good when a co-host is dropping a super chat. We appreciate that, X Factor. Let's see here. What would you say? We still got a couple of players I'm going to run through that are visiting over either this week or this weekend. What would you, Gabe, what do you think the priority is in the portal? Because we've mentioned Thornton, who is likely committing at wide receiver. I still think they could possibly add two. And that goes back to something Austin Price said a month ago when Tennessee had 4 wide receivers, 4 on the board in the transfer portal, even though it looks like they're only getting Thornton. If you can add a second, he said, don't be shocked if they add 2 wide receivers. Omar Norman Lott, defensive lineman. We're going to talk about John Campbell coming up in just a second. Miami offensive tackle. Davon Sears is another defensive lineman, defensive tackle from Texas State. Seems like Oklahoma is leading the way there, but Tennessee's still pursuing. What's your priority in the portal? What do you think Tennessee really needs help in the portal?
Man, I still think we need somebody in the secondary. I mean, we brought in a lot of talent, so much talent, that is going to, I mean, the guys that we brought in will end up being one of, probably, in my opinion, if they can play up to their potential, they will end up being one of the best secondaries in the country. They are ballers. They are dudes. But they're not experienced. They're going to be true freshmen. I don't know of anybody on our roster that has a real shot at stepping up and really being a playmaker this year. I was hoping we could get a few corners and a couple safeties, if I'm being completely honest. I know Tank McCullough is coming back next year. Trayvon is not coming back next year. We're going to have Wesley Walker back. We're going to have Danico Slaughter back. Other than those guys, it's hard to say we have real difference maker playmakers back there. So I was really hoping that we could get a corner. We could get a corner or 2 or 3 and a safety or 2, because more than anything, we need guys. We saw what happened when we had at one point we had 4 or 5 guys out, and some guys stepped up and made some plays, but we were in trouble. We need depth in that position, if nothing else. If we can't get our playmakers yet, we need depth. And it's been a little bit disappointing to see a sort of a lack of activity in that area so far in the transfer portal, and kind of no whispers of anything. And maybe they're waiting until the second transfer period, to see what they have, see what kind of, because they got the guys they wanted in this class. If you bring in, we brought in 5 secondary guys. If you bring those guys in, I don't think you want to just bury them in the roster immediately. I don't think you want to do that. It is hard. It is kind of hard to find a lot of really talented difference maker guys that have just 1 year left. You just want them for 1 year. It is hard to find that. Those guys are few and far between. And you don't just want to bury your talented playmakers, your talented young playmakers that you're bringing in down on the roster. So they're going to look at what they have. They're going to, evaluate their talent, see, okay, this guy can start day one, or this guy can contribute day one. This guy's going to need a little time. So let's bring in somebody with experience just to add a depth piece. I think that's probably, but at the same time, that is a serious need at some point, whether it's now or whether it's at the second availability after spring. We'll have to see. But to me, that's a big priority.
Jerry in the chat, always good to see Jerry hanging out, wants to know about Sammy Brown. I dropped a video on him this morning. Go check that out. Not only is Tennessee very much in the mix for Sammy Brown, one of the top linebackers in the class of 24, they are very much in the mix there, but also he had some interesting things to say about Tennessee. So I dropped that video this morning. Go check it out. Tennessee very, very, very much in the mix. Very much in the mix. But we'll got a long way to go on that one. So we'll see how it plays out. But good to see you in the chat as always, Jerry. Trey Elder for $20 says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Trey. Appreciate the $20 tip in the old tip jar, my man. Hope you're having a good New Year. We're almost a week into this thing. I hope everybody's – Gabe, do you set New Year's resolutions? This is a $20 super chat. We'll sidebar here. You believe in New Year's resolutions?
No. If I want to do something, if I really want to improve myself in some way, I'm not gonna anchor it to a specific date. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go after it. You know what I mean? I don't want to anchor my self-improvement on a single day and saying, all right, this is the time, because it takes commitment. You can't just say, all right, now. You got to be ready. You gotta get after it. So I just say, if you want to improve yourself, don't wait until the beginning of the year. Just do it. Just do it. So no, I don't set New Year's resolutions.
I don't.
You can set goals. Yeah, I mean, you can be like
goals. That way, I'm not disappointed when I don't reach them.
Well, or just be like, this year I want to do this, but you don't have to. I mean, it's not like you have to hold yourself to something insane. But if you're going to, then do it. I mean, just, it's just because, why would you just set yourself up for disappointment? It's the whole joke, right? It's like everybody does it. Why would you do it? Just live your life and enjoy it. Enjoy your life, everybody. Anyway.
Nice little sidebar there because, hey, $20 super chat to say Happy New Year. Let's have some fun with it. Well, I was going to go back to the portal you talking about. I almost think this coaching staff is confident in what they have at safety. There's never really seemed to be any kind of urgency really to the chat. I'm reading the chat while I'm talking. Tell Gabe to start using a comb for he's wearing a toboggan. You guys traumatized this man so much that he now has to wear hats and toboggans every stream. Talkin VAWLS is a hat group.
When do we just not have hair as a society anymore? Have I been blind? I
don't. That's why I wear a hat all the time, Kate. You'll get old and it'll happen to you too, buddy. Stick around.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm waiting on it. But you know what? Why would I not just let my locks flow while I have them at that point? While I still have them, I'm gonna lose all my hair, and I'm gonna say, damn, I really wish I had my hair back. So the hair's great, man. I'm keeping the. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to take the beanie off though, because the beanie hair is bad. My hair's already unruly and curly just as it is, and if I let it go, it looks okay. If I take the beanie off, it's gonna be rough.
The chat was talking about the motivational speech, and now we're talking about hair. It wasn't even a super chat; it was just a comment. But we get derailed around here.
This is late night Monday morning.
Yeah, this is
Friday night, Monday morning.
Somebody in the chat earlier said, who the heck is this guy? Dude, me and Gabe doing Monday morning streams was one of the best things on the channel this fall. And guess what? Coming up next fall, we're going to roll right back into it. Going to try to do Monday mornings, Friday mornings. We'll see. Maybe 2 to 3 days a week, I'm going to do Monday morning streams and see if we can get Gabe on here, Eric Kane, Ben McKee. Should be a fun time, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's jump back into the portal. And, I was talking about the safeties. I feel like this coaching staff has confidence in the safety position. And Wesley Walker is a guy that has shined and shown some flash. We'll see what Tank McCullough does. Feels like Tank McCullough's been down there for 72 years. I bet he's 37 years old at this point. But I think they have confidence there. I think they need to add a corner as well. But you got to realize, again, I talked about the visit. You can't visit anymore after this weekend. And then also the portal. The portal closes in about a week, and then it's going to reopen after the spring. So we're going to see a whole nother wave of talent go in after spring practice when they realize after going through camp that they're not on the depth chart where they want to be. So they're going to flood to the portal, and this coaching staff will evaluate. And you got to realize that too. And, it's easy for us, and I joked about it in the video that's coming out tomorrow morning. Good old Nelson from Jackson on Twitter. I love Nelson. He DMs me all the time talking about Vol football. But anytime somebody with talent enters the portal, Nelson's all over it. He's got eyeball emojis. He's got the little gifs with the monkeys on the phone.
Yep.
He gets excited about everybody. And this coaching staff can't just add a body to add a body, even if they're elite level talent. We saw that with Lynn J. Dixon, how that worked out. I think this coaching staff truly prioritizes making sure that these guys are a fit culturally, making sure they're a fit schematically. But again, we're going to see this thing open wide open once again, once we get through spring practice. And that's, as a content creator, it's great. It gives us something to cover in January. It gives us something to cover. We got spring practice coming up in March. We can follow it up after that. Then we jump into high school recruiting. I'm excited about the content we've got coming out with Coach Jay, man. We jammed out 2 more videos today. We got 3 videos in the bank, 3 videos breaking down film with Coach Jay, goes in depth. He made a comment in today's video that to the casual fan, I think it's really going to be educational as to what's going through a linebacker's mind when they're lined up before the ball is snapped. I really, really, really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. One last name I want to mention, John Campbell, Miami offensive tackle. He was in Knoxville this week as well. This thing's down to Florida and Tennessee. And again, he was in campus. He was on Rocky Top this week, but he's got a visit coming up to Florida now. So did Tennessee do enough to get John Campbell in the boat? But offensive tackle, position of need, 6'5", 320 pounds. He's a 5th-year redshirt junior. So he's a guy with some experience. He was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school in the class of 2018. Looks like he is a full-grown man. This dude's a monster. Absolutely huge. But again, position of need, Gabe. You got to have another body at the offensive tackle position. Something I've talked about is you've got Gerald Mincy, you got J.J. Crawford on the left. You got to find a way to replace Darnell Wright on the right side. Saw somebody talking about that in the chat. Got to replace Darnell Wright. Can J.J. Crawford slide over to the right side? If not, you're relying on Dane Davis. Is that enough? And then you're talking about depth issues. So a guy like John Campbell adding an offensive tackle it's a priority, man. It's a priority.
Yeah, I think Dane Davis is solid. I think that when he did have to come in, he performed well. I mean, it's hard to fill Darnell Wright's shoes, especially coming off the bench. So, but I think Dane Davis is solid. But you want to have another guy there. I mean, we saw it all year. J.J. Crawford would go, or Gerald Mincy would go down, and J.J. would come in, and it'd be like nothing happened. J.J. would go down, Gerald would come in, and it'd be like nothing happened. I mean, that's the type of rotation you want. That's the type of rotation you want on your offensive line. Bringing in a guy like this guy is important. And frankly, I think we're in good position because he's got Gerald Mincy in his ear for sure. I mean, I don't know what communication they can have with each other. I don't think there's that many restrictions on that, but
no, that's where a lot of the back channel communication is taking place.
He's got Gerald Mincy in his ear, man. I mean, Gerald Mincy came from Florida. He's familiar with that program. I mean, I don't know if Gerald's going to trash talk Florida as much as he's just going to talk up Tennessee and be like, look, man, this is a good place to be. I think that's a valuable perspective to have. So, I don't know, but I do think it's important. I think this is a guy that we do want to get, and we've already gotten a little bit of help on the offensive line. So I don't necessarily think it's extremely important, but again, he's a guy, he's a dude. He brings experience and he brings a body that can do the job and give you the protection that you need in the pocket for a while. So I don't know. I think it'll be cool to grab him, but if not, I don't think it's the end of the world.
Taylor made in the chat pointing out some good information that he's close with Joe Milton because they're around the same age, both out of Florida, out of Orlando, Florida area. So that's Joe Milton's in his ear as well. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to bring up? I think we're good on that. Something else, another position of need we could talk about is the tight end position. And you've got the kid from UC Davis transferring in. And you mentioned this right before we went live, Jacob Warren. How big was that, Jacob Warren? Because it didn't make
Massive.
sense to me when that started coming out that Jacob Warren may be done with football. I'm like, man, this is his time to shine. Like
Yep.
Princeton Fant out of eligibility. Princeton Fant's gone. I was like, this Jacob Warren's a guy that I've been waiting to see him just come out and ball out. Like, I think the kid's got it. Is it work ethic? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I was fired up to hear that he's coming back.
Jacob Warren is an absolute freaking like V12 brain who's going to go on to do incredible things with his mind and his intelligence, because he's like a freaking Heisman level athlete, Heisman level scholar. So, maybe that goes into it. It's like, hey, I have my career already set in front of me. I know I'm good. I'm graduated. I could just stop playing football and do what I've, studied. But at the same time, he's a football guy. I mean, he's massive. He's athletic. He's good at what he does. So it was huge for Tennessee to get this guy back. And, at the same time, with McCallan Castles coming in, I'm excited to see what he can do. A lot of guys have talked him up a lot. He's even though he was really under the radar, he's been really hyped up. So I'm excited to see what he can do. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see us get an athlete at that position. I mean, McCallan Castles is supposed to be an athlete, but Jacob Warren, he's solid. He's your traditional big guy tight end, and he is an insane run blocker. But I personally love watching a tight end like Princeton Fant do their thing. A guy that's big and can run block, but is athletic and dynamic. I love dynamic tight ends. Like that's a huge part of what I mean. If in my perfect offense, I would have two dynamic tight ends who are big and can run block, but are athletic as well. And Princeton Fant fit that bill perfect. It's why he was like one of my favorite players of all time. Because he was just so athletic and so strong. And he could do the job in the run game, and he could catch passes, he could throw passes, he could run the ball. I like that type of tight end. And frankly, I'd love to see us get one of those guys. I don't know if there's one of those guys left. Jaheim Bell was one of those guys. And that's why I thought it was a real shame when he didn't come to Tennessee, because, I mean, I don't know if Tennessee even reached out to him. I don't know if he was interested, but Jaheim Bell would have been an awesome guy in this offense. The things we could have done with a dynamic athlete like him. So it is definitely true, though, that outside of Jacob Warren, I have no idea what this tight end room looks like. Because, again, McCallan Castles, we don't really know what he can do for sure. His name is Hunter Salmon.
Yeah,
right?
We saw him. What did he have? He had a couple of catches on the
He had a couple catches.
Charlie Browder's the kid I was talking about.
He's the UCF guy.
Yeah.
Charlie Browder. But
That's
they're big tight end looking. They look like tight ends, but again, we don't really know what they can do because they haven't really gotten that spotlight to see what, I mean, the coaches see them every day in practice. So I just have no idea. And that's why I'd like to see us get another guy. Maybe we don't need another guy. Maybe the guys we have fit the bill and they're really good. But I just don't know. So
I wonder, looking at the size, I pulled up Charlie Browder, 6'7", 250. Jacob Warren, 6'6", 250. Princeton Fant, like you said, a little bit more athletic. He was 6'2", 235. Ethan Davis coming in as a true freshman. The kid has all the potential in the world to be a dynamic type of player at the tight end position, but he also was hurt his entire senior season. So, but he's 6'5", 230. And I wonder if he can come in and be that more dynamic back. I wonder what this coaching staff truly wants from the tight end position, because there are times I'm like, man, why do they not utilize like the tight end up the seam or, different things? And they got Princeton Fant the ball. They were very creative with Princeton Fant this year, obviously. But I wonder ultimately what they want from the tight end position. Do they want that dynamic guy like an Ethan Davis, or do they want a big run blocker out there, that's just going to block on the quick stuff to the wide receivers, block in the run game? What are they really looking for from the tight end position? Because it's kind of a room full of different type of players.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, Jacob Warren lined up in the slot a couple times in the Orange Bowl. We saw on some of those switch crossing routes where Jacob Warren was basically there to take the inside away, take the safety up to open up the back end. So, I mean, I honestly think that in Josh Heupel's offense, tight ends are run blocking and eye candy. I think that's kind of how it is. I mean, I don't think you're going to have a tight end in Josh Heupel's offense have 10 or 10 receiving touchdowns in a year. I think that you'll have him utilize him a couple times. I mean, Jacob Warren, we got him out, on a couple of short routes, maybe a couple of short seams. Other than that, I mean, I really think because Josh Heupel was the one calling plays in the Orange Bowl, and it's basically you got to take the entire playbook and figure that out in a month's time for a game. Like I don't know how much of the playbook was Alex Golesh, but I mean clearly quite a bit of it because the offense definitely looked different in the Orange Bowl, at least a little bit different. But I from what I saw of that game. I've watched the highlights back quite a bit. If that's the type of offense we're going to get next year, it's going to be for the tight ends. It's going to be a lot of eye candy and run blocking to get guys open and to get your skill guys get your skill guys big plays.
I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I said when I did this full time, I wanted to do more live streams during the off season. So when we've got some transfer portal news like this, several players that were on campus, and yeah, I'm putting out the videos and making news, but it's always fun to get on here with a wingman and kind of get somebody else's opinion, bounce back and forth. A lot of news this week, the Jacob Warren news, the Jalen Wright news, the Joey Halsley getting upgraded to offensive coordinator. Noah James says, no, Boogie, don't go. Noah, for the right super chat, I'll drop tomorrow morning's video right now, and you guys can watch it immediately. For the right super chat. I want to thank CCG07 for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate that. The members keep the lights on around here. 99 cents a month. A little bit more if you want. Hit that join button down below, and you can join the channel for as little as 99 cents or, a little bit higher, give a little bit more. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We're going to do a watch party on Monday for the national championship game. That should be a lot of fun. Going to be, Wayne says, what's it cost, Boogie? I don't know. Can we do like an NCAA thing? Yeah, I mean, you guys pay $100 in super chats to rally the troops and stuff for me to play an extra game. You want the same price, $100 in super chats? I'll drop the video right now. Right now. Adam says it costs the right super chat. I mean, we could do the NCAA rule of $100 in super chats. We'll drop the video because it's gonna die on views. Dropping it at 8:00 at night, it's not gonna do well. But I would let you guys have a little peek for the right price. But again, gonna be live Sunday night NCAA stream 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Always a blast, always a good time. The new rule: I'm gonna play NCAA all night long. You guys just keep showing up, showing out, showing love, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the support that you guys give us. Also, gonna do a live stream next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to do way too early predictions. Wayne says, how long is the video? They're always 10 minutes, bro. Always 10 minutes. You got to play those YouTube numbers. They want 10-minute videos. Boogie will give them 10-minute videos. But next Wednesday should be a lot of fun. We're going to take a look at the schedule and way too early predictions. Way too early predictions for the 2023 season. Seth Brooks for 10. Thank you for the super chat. Says, here's 10. Do I just sit around and chill now? Do we just sit around and wait to see if $90 comes on through? I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Well, you guys have a couple of minutes.
So like like 8:15?
Yeah, you said you weren't going to be here Wednesday, right?
Not sure.
Okay,
Not
well
sure.
then I was going to say for you, was going to say for you to give your way too early predictions, but if you're not sure,
I can go ahead and yeah, just go ahead and call it.
Well, I mean, what do you think? And again, the roster's going to change. The roster's going to change because spring's going to come and go. More kids are going to be in the portal.
Way too early predictions for what? Next season?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't know. I've seen more and more people start talking about this, and I've only thought about it a little bit. I see this team next year definitely being another 10-win team. I don't know if they are going to have the national championship factor that they did this year. I think that this team is going to be a 9 or 10 win team. Obviously, how that goes down depends on how it goes down next season. But this team it's still going to be good enough to challenge Alabama. It's still going to be good enough to challenge Georgia. And it should win just about every other game on the schedule. I mean, it really should. Barring something like, what we saw against South Carolina, we really should. I mean, our non-conference schedule is frankly, I wish it was a little bit more exciting next year because we're playing Virginia. Is that right? That's our big non-conference opponent is Virginia.
I think that's the opener. Let me scroll up. I'm so far down here. Here's the schedule. I think that's the opener, isn't it? Yeah, the opener is Virginia. So, Virginia, Austin P, UConn, and UTSA.
I mean, this team is smashing Virginia. I mean, you can't predict how good a team's going to be 8 years in advance, of course. But now that we're here, Virginia just looks like a really, really boring game. But it'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch this new and improved. Well, I won't say new and improved. This new version of Josh Heupel's offense make its debut. But yeah, 9 or 10 wins. I think. I mean, I think this team could achieve more. I think it largely depends on the defense. I don't think this team needs to score 50 points a game next year. If we can allow, a touchdown less per game, a touchdown or maybe even 2. I mean, God, we allowed quite a few. Then I think that we'd be in much better position. I mean, even if our offense goes down a bit, if our defense can improve, we'll be about the same as this year, in my opinion. But if Joe Milton, if Golden Throw Joe can hit his stride in 2023, I'm telling you, he's winning the Heisman. I'm telling you, he is. And maybe he'll just have a good season. I'd be okay with that too, because it doesn't have to just be terrible or awesome with Joe Milton. Like I said, if we take 10 deep shots in a game and he hits 3 of them, that's 21 points guaranteed. So not to mention whatever we can do rumbling down the field, dinking and dunking. But yeah, I think this is still going to be a Josh Heupel team next year. It's going to be exciting to watch. Great offensively. There's going to be a lot of questions defensively, just the same as normal. So we'll find out. But I'm really excited. I'm excited. I mean, how can you not be excited after this year with the potential that you see this team have? The potential that Joe Milton has, the potential that Brew McCoy has, the potential that Ramel Keaton has, as well as the question of bringing in somebody like Dante Thornton, seeing Squirrel White grow, seeing Dylan Sampson grow, things like that are just, who can step up in the secondary. We have a couple dogs back there right now who can step up and fill in, Josh Josephs, the edge rushers, those guys. I mean, how can you not be excited about watching this team play next year? I'm excited. So yeah, I mean, that would be my way too early prediction is 10 wins.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Wayne for 50 says, I want to watch the video, Boogie. I want to watch it right now. Wayne for $50. That ain't cheap, Wayne. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. Says $40 left, y'all. I want to see the video. Where my Vols at? Wayne's recruiting people to donate the last $40 so we can watch the video right now as soon as we go off air. We got 200 people watching live. Do you guys want to watch the video? Do you want me to post the video right now? Do you want me to post it right now? Can you really say no after Wayne just paid $50? I think I have to post it. I think I got it. I can. Can I say no?
No. I was saying I was agreeing that it would be hard to say no.
Yeah, I'll post it just for Wayne. All right, so we're going to wrap up the show. As soon as we go off air, I will upload the video immediately. I want all 195 of you to refresh your screen. Actually, I'll do it right now. I'll do it live on air. We'll do business live on air. Boogie's going to go into the YouTube studio, and we're going to switch channels. That way, you guys will go live immediately from here, go straight to that video, hit refresh, and we'll get some good analytics rolling on this thing early. So do me a favor, guys. Go over, watch the video. It's going up right now. Smash the thumbs up on it. Retweet it. I'm going to put out a promotional post here in just a second. The video is now public. We will catch you guys Sunday night for a little NCAA football. Zach's going to make it right on the way out the door. Zach for $20.
There it is.
Says just do it. We're still 20 away, but the video's public. Everybody go check it out. Thank you guys for tuning in. No outro tonight because the video's public and everybody's leaving, so we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, everybody, for the generosity. We will catch you guys Sunday night for NCAA football. Go Big Orange.